It's 7:40. Let's do this. Good evening, Hampton Roads. Good evening, Northeast North Carolina. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television, and you are watching First Warning Live, where we focus on all things weather and weather that's pertinent and relevant to you and important to you. But it's brought to you by Marco's Pizza because we get hungry from time to time. And on Thursdays, like today, we're going to be giving away 22 pizzas. Can we do that? Is that legal? Oh, it's very legal. We're just going to give away free pizzas. I think that's pretty cool. We'll just give out 10 individual pies, plus we're going to give a certificate, one certificate that'll go 12 pizzas to one person, spread out, of course, through the year of 2026. All that's coming up in just a mere moment or two, but we got to talk about the weather because the warmer air seems like it pulled back a bit today. Did you notice that? It wasn't as warm as it was yesterday. Yesterday we hit 69 degrees in Norfolk. Today, only 55, but that's still 4 degrees above normal. But let the warmer air come back because it's going to come back. Some of us got in the 60s today. I can show you this. We hit 41 this morning. Normal low's 34. So let me put this in context, right? Some of you got down to 34, but as far as Norfolk is concerned, where there's been a long-standing weather record going back to the 1800s, Norfolk fell to 41 degrees. That happened at 7:20 this morning. 7:20. It fell to 35, however, in Chesapeake and Suffolk, but it was 10 degrees warmer in the Harbor of Hospitality in Elizabeth City and 45 in Manio on Roanoke Island. Edenton, 43, 34 Hosky. So this was the starting point, but we finished at 55. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Oh, Aldrich, you're off your game. You said 57, we hit 55. You're off 2 degrees. All right. It was 57 to be fair in Virginia Beach. It was 57 in Newport News. I mean, it is, after all, inexact science, doing my best I can, but I can tell you I have high confidence that we're within striking distance of the record high for this Saturday. Woo! Somebody's excited about that. How many of you are excited about it? By the way, we hit 55 today. At what time? 11:12 this morning. It wasn't even noon. It wasn't even noon when we hit 55. It was 11:12 this morning based on the airport numbers that Norfolk International provides. Now, 63 in Suffolk was the high, got up to 58. It was warmer in Gloucester, and Williamsburg hit 59 today, while it was 60 in Elizabeth City and 62 in Emporia. That's pretty amazing. And it was a little cooler, to be fair. I see Wallops there at 53 today. Now, the record highs for the next 2 days are on the screen. These are the numbers that have been on the books for a while. I think this one's going to fall. This is the one that I think is within striking distance. That's Saturday, and it's 68 years in the making. Keep in mind, if you're not a weather geek like me, it's important to note that every day of the year, 365 and 366 if it's a leap year, every day of the year has a record high, a record low, and of course other records like rainfall, snowfall records, that type of thing, on a daily basis. So if you can knock out a 72 record, and this is low-hanging fruit, if you look at all 31 days in January, there's none as low as 72. A couple of 73s, we're going to look at that too. But I do find it interesting if you like the warm air. And how could we get there? Some of you are like, are you sure about that? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Now, the winds aren't going to impress you at 8 o'clock Saturday morning. I mean, I can see right here. That's 8 o'clock. It's pretty calm in the Eastern Shore, and we got less than 10 miles an hour as far as gusts early Saturday. But watch what happens to the colors by 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I mean, you don't have to be an atmospheric scientist to say that it looks like the winds are picking up. Yes, and it's a warm wind, too. It's a warm wind coming up out of the southwest. Do you think it gets stronger at night? Oh, it sure does. So maybe late afternoon, if you got gusts at 29, 30, 32 miles an hour, there's a good chance we have a breaking or tying the record high. Especially if I believe, which we will do, if we can break the temperature inversion, we're going to see that temperature spike. And suddenly it'll exceed expectations and guidance, as some of us in the weather community like to be focused on. What's the guidance suggest? Well, it suggests hot to me for this time of year. Think of it as a taste of spring, or perhaps spring break in January. You excited? I'm excited. Maybe if you're not excited yet, maybe I can get you excited about the Hot Honey Magnifico. Talk about warm. I mean, there's nothing better than when you take 100% honey and infuse it with real chili peppers to give you that sweet, spicy combination on. It's like one of the best condiments now that you can buy. And Mike's Hot Honey is not only great on pizza, chicken, and even some other items. I will encourage you to try it on Marco's Pizza. Marco is offering you about a $6.50, $7 savings by ordering the medium. I got this last night. I did it. I did it just after the live stream, and I still have a few slices still in the box back home. But I will say WTKR Sunny is the promo code, and yes, I did get the price of $10.99. So I am walking the walk, as they say. But I would encourage you to check that out. I'm going to announce the pizza winners at the top of the hour. Those pizza winners, if you win tonight, these are the 6 stores. These are the 6 franchisees that are going to honor the free pizza. And they're also the same, coincidentally, the same 6 locations that will give you $10.99 Mike's Hot Honey Magnifico. WTKR.com Marcos is the website to sign up. If you don't win free pizza tonight, and there's a chance maybe you don't, but if you spend 1 or 2 minutes providing us your basic information, that you give us permission to send you some pizza, you could be receiving a pizza for a year certificate. If not tonight, maybe on a future Thursday next week or beyond, because we're going to keep doing this. Awarded name would go here. You get like a punch card. You could put it on your refrigerator. Think about all the money you would save by getting a large one-topping pizza for you and your family for the next every month for free. And that would take you right through December of 2026. That's pretty sweet. I think that's a real great way to serve our neighborhoods, and we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Now, if you haven't tried the Pozzoli, it's like a Stromboli or calzone, and the Magnifico is the standard pizza. I'd say it's one of their best signature pizzas, but when you throw on the hot honey, it makes it even spicier and sweeter. So you might want to check that out as well. All right, we talked about the wind, talked about the warmth. I do want to show you this. This was the record highs in Norfolk. I showed this yesterday, but it bears repeating. We did hit a record high in 2024. It was 77. That still is on the books. We also hit a record high last January, the last day of the month, when we hit 73. Now, if we do, and I'm pretty confident that we will have a great chance of doing that, hitting the 3rd one in a row, it's like just knocking them down one after the other. 3 Januaries in a row in Norfolk, we will have had a record high. Now, this is 68 years in the making, because 1957 was back when Dwight D. Eisenhower was in the White House, long time ago. But we could replace it or tie it, if it ties, with 2026. So I think it's interesting to see how this is going to play out. And like I said, most of the rain on Saturday will be moving northward toward the peninsulas, Eastern Shore, Maryland, Delaware, and South Jersey in the afternoon. So I think we have some dry opportunities with that wind to transport us some more warmth. I got some other comments on here. I want to say hi to you. I want to say greetings to you. I got a great note that came in last night. It was Rich. I think it was Rich. Let's put him on the screen. Oops, did I get him on the screen here? Let me take this off. That was what was. Now let's see if he comes on here. Let's see if he, oops, it's not working. What's going on? Let's see if I can get him back on here. Rich is, I think, here. I'll figure this out. I'll keep moving until I can figure this out. But it can't be hard to figure out, I would assume, unless I can get, he says, we went to Virginia Beach oceanfront for the Blizzard 96 snowstorm. So some people were in fact going to some places to get maybe some cover during that big blizzard that we've talked about the last 2 live streams. So just want to shout that out. And I see another note from Stephanie Blackley saying it's spring fever. I think it is spring fever when you're talking about temperatures in the 70s, and we've had now 3 very warm days in January over the last couple of years. Satellite radar not showing much at all in terms of precipitation. It's void, but we have some clouds. Most of them are mid to high level clouds, and they're beginning to move away, but I think it's going to ebb and flow. The rain tonight seemingly is centered over central West Virginia, not far from Charleston, working its way into the mountains and also into Ohio, with high pressure off the coast of New Jersey. The one spot that we're seeing more in the way of energy is through the Midwest, Tennessee Valley up toward Illinois and Indiana, where there is some concern that some areas in the deep south, south of Memphis, and that area could have some severe weather in the coming hours, even into the day tomorrow. We'll be watching that very, very closely. So what is this interesting to see? Maybe if I take this off and see if I could get, I keep toying with my stream here, so forgive me if I'm not quite there yet. I got the Marco's Pizza. Maybe I can get the comment on here. Let's see if I can do this on level 2 here. But the spring fever, and I got Be Safe from Kim Thompson. Marilyn Bell says it's news here in East Tennessee. They're looking for heavy rain, and we need it for the drought numbers. I've got the latest drought monitor for you in East Tennessee. And a big shout out to anyone who's in Tennessee. Today is kind of like an unofficial holiday because it is Elvis's birthday. And I believe I've seen him at Las Vegas a couple of times. I don't. He would have been 91 years old today, Elvis Presley. So Tennessee and, of course, Graceland, a big part of the volunteer state's history, musically speaking and otherwise. So let me get back to the big map. Well, you can see we got warm air moving across the midsection of the country. The low temperatures are also on fire because our normal high is 51 and the normal low is 34. In fact, by Saturday morning, we're going to be about 5 degrees above the normal high, and this is the low. So it's just like upside down, topsy-turvy when we've got temperatures about 31 degrees, and that's what we're going to be dropping to. We'll be frosty cold come Monday morning and Tuesday morning, so it's back to reality. No question about that. All right, just checking in with you. Bear with me as I continue on to load the new comments. I know why it had that problem. I didn't, sometimes if I don't toggle certain settings, I think this will put Rich back on the screen. It did. See, patience is a virtue, David. I'm learning that every day. I am a work in progress. We went to Virginia Beach oceanfront for the 96 snowstorm, and it is Stephanie. I think Stephanie put her face on there. A beautiful face there. Stephanie says spring fever. I agree. It's like the taste of spring. Some love it, some don't, but these are comments that were left about 24 hours ago. I'm now going to work on getting the new comments imported here momentarily. And if you're just joining us, we're going to announce the winners of Marco's Pizza this week here in just mere moments, so bear with me. Sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to get all my software in order, so here's where we're going. Now, as far as the temperatures, be prepared for some colder air coming back early next week. As we move ahead, look where we are right now. It is colder, or at least cooler, by the order of 5 to 10 degrees or so across many neighborhoods compared to this time last night. Last night we were pretty warm, but relative to where we are now, because we are cooling pretty fast. We're already in the 40s, and I mean low 40s in Newport News, Gloucester, Cape Charles, in the upper 30s, mind you, in Memphis. So some areas are already getting a lot colder, and that's one aspect that you're going to find at least tomorrow morning. I keep advertising warmer weather. It's not going to be super warm in the morning. I think we'll be making a run towards 70 as we head toward the afternoon. And not everyone's going to reach 70. Much like anything else, it could very well be in the upper 60s to near 70. So I got a question from Joshua. He is interested in knowing, are we going to get some snow on the 16th? Oh, stay with me. I'm going to show you the evidence of what I see, and you can compare the notes with what you see or what you're also hearing from other sources. So I'm not that optimistic for snow, and I'll explain why in just a moment. But let's get back to these numbers because that's where we are now. By morning, we should be about 38 Franklin, 39 Ahoskie, 43 in Edenton, about 37 for Memphis, so we're pretty close to that now. Moyock and Hertford, low 40s, about 47 for Nags Head. My planner for tomorrow will feature partly sunny skies to start, mostly cloudy to finish. And make no mistake about it, it's warm even though we have the clouds, and I left some spotty rain in there as well. 20% chance, I think, about covers it, and that seemingly on the futurecast favors the eastern shore, where some spots of rain may form tomorrow. Winds are going to be out of the south, 5 to 15, could gust around 20, but I do think it's a toasty day at 70. And again, the record high is 74, so that's probably not even it's a non-starter as far as record highs on Friday. Record high on Saturday is a different story. 60 and falling on Sunday, and then look at that. Monday, it's back to earth, my friend. Back to earth, because we're running about, 5 degrees below normal? 5 degrees is where we'll be, I think, come normal high is 51. So it's going to be a lot chillier, maybe a little dose of reality when you wake up. But both Monday and Tuesday will feature ample sunshine. You'll need the sunglasses on both of those days. So let me go through the headlines for you. Let the warmer air continue. Highs near 70 on Friday, spotty rain. More warmth Saturday, lower 70s and some scattered rain. And then temperatures tumble, they fall on Sunday with more rain showers mainly in the morning. Here's the drought monitor. We're going to look at the whole country as well as East Tennessee, but I got to focus on Hampton Roads for good reason because look at what's happened. Looky, we've now gone up a whole level For areas in brown along the eastern shore, Franklin, Ahoskie, much of Bertie County is now level 2. And if you're not quite sure what these levels mean, just look at the legend, right? This is level 1. It's called abnormally dry. So if you're colored, if your town or city or county is colored yellow, it would be abnormally dry. If it's brown, which the Exmoor and Cape Charles now is brown, that would be moderate drought. If it's orange, and a good part of the Commonwealth is orange, that's a severe drought, level 3. Level 4 is red, and level 5 is exceptional. And you don't want to be anywhere near exceptional, because think about this. Think about this for just a second. We're about 2.5 months away from growing season. Now, some of you are like, it doesn't mean anything. If you're a landscaper, it's your business. If you're a gardener, if you got a green thumb, and maybe it's just green because you just like to play in the dirt, that's okay. Maybe you run a nursery, and I don't mean like for kids, I mean like plants. So maybe the growing season is important to you. Is it worth noting that we're now 7.5 inches below normal? We ended the end of 2025 6.5 inches below normal. Now we've added almost like 0.9, almost 0.84 to 0.9. So about 7.5 inches below normal. That's the deficit that we're going into 2026 with. Is it insurmountable? No, we can make up for that. We can have a rainy spring. But it's good to know that you do have now an exasperated situation where maybe Norfolk and Back Bay Hickory, all Ocean Lakes area, is level 1. But if you look over here at Cape Charles, and you can see, I believe, if I put this back on here, we'll get back to that question from Joshua, but level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, it looks like it's level 2 for Chincoteague, Exmoor, and Cape Charles and Gloucester. Elizabeth City is level 1, abnormally dry. This is today's drought monitor that came out this morning. Even Hatteras is showing some signs of yellow in this map. This comes by way of our friends at NOAA. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. If you want to find red, look no further than parts of Illinois, parts of Indiana and Ohio. I believe there's some red there in Maine, around Portland. That's extreme. Extreme drought means they really need some rain. And if you really look at the heart, the Commonwealth here, Virginia, I mean, there's some severe drought. It's now level 3. From basically Hagerstown, Maryland, all the way down just around Martinsville as well, down to Greensboro in the center of the Tar Heel State, and also near Raleigh, Wake County, Charlotte, Asheville has either moderate or severe drought. It's not good. I mean, think about it. It needs some improvement. If you come back to East Tennessee, Knoxville under a moderate drought, Athens, I believe if we zoom in a little tighter, Lenore City and Maryville are also under a severe drought. Sevierville, Morristown, White Pine, Maynardville under a moderate. So level 2 for you in brown, level 3 in orange. And of course, orange in Tennessee usually is a good thing, but not on this map. It means it's very dry. Severe drought. And you can see South Texas needs some rain, and they need some rain in parts of Oklahoma, the Rockies, and so it goes. So that's the big map as it stands today. All right, keeping this in mind, any drop of rain that we get this weekend is beneficial. That was my point. 40% chance of rain on Saturday, 40% chance on Sunday. Most of that's in the morning. But if you look at this closely, the heaviest of rain is going to be over here. Well, where's here? That's Richmond. Oh, and maybe even more in purple, right? So we're talking about heavier rains in the center part of the state where they are under a severe drought. So they might need this rain even more than we do, but we'll take it, even if it's a tenth of an inch for inland North Carolina, a tenth of an inch around the south side, or maybe a quarter to a third from the eastern shore to the peninsulas. Another way to look at this, why I think Richmond is favored, is maybe because they are favored. About over an inch and a third would be in the direction of Richmond, and maybe just a quarter inch for our friends in Edenton. I have not forgotten the question from Joshua just a moment ago. Tony is, I guess, echoing the very thought that I had myself. It's on fire. It's in fuego. So you factor in there a little bit of rain this weekend, beneficial. It's not a washout. If you've got plans, again, it may not be as bright. We'll get intervals of sun, but hazy sun the next 2 days. But the next 2 days are the warmest of the next 7. No question about that. All right, we're looking at the rainfall amounts. Again, these are projections. Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, about 0.75 to 0.8. And maybe just under an inch in Roanoke is projected. What we're tracking is this warm front. So the rain on Saturday is going to be lifting north. So at 8 o'clock in the morning, it's very important to note, as we're now almost to 8 o'clock, I'm going to finish this map and get to the pizza winners. You'll notice it's here at 8, But once we move this clock forward just a few more hours, it starts to lift just a wee bit at noon, but it really lifts up by 4 o'clock. So the heavier rains are over Wilmington, Philadelphia, possibly back toward the Baltimore area. While there's still some showers here, but not as maybe as intense. And that's about 4 o'clock Saturday. So I think about a 40% chance of rain will cover it. We got rain coming in on Sunday, especially in the morning, but it's going to take some afternoon time to clear the coastline for the Outer Banks. So I'm putting the words mainly in the morning Sunday, but it may be a little slower getting out of here. Now, before I get to the trivia, I'll give you some time, hopefully not to Google it, but give you some time to look up this question or think about it. During which season is the shadow the longest? Ooh, the shadow. The shadow, is it A, winter, B, spring, or C, summer? Before you answer that, it's time now to get to some pizza winners. I got pizza. Who wants some pizza? We got some free pizza coming by way of a certificate. We're going to get to that here now that it's 8 o'clock straight up. Free Marco's pizza will be delivered in your mailbox via a certificate. You could go to these 5 stores, actually now 6 stores, 3 in Virginia Beach, 2 in Chesapeake, 1 in Norfolk. That's where you'll be able to get the pizza redeemed. And if you are a winner, it will come with 1 topping. I ran out of space there. But 1 free large Marco's pizza will start off in no particular order. No particular order goes to Corinthia Johnson from Portsmouth. And of course, I don't want to leave out Helen Gingerella from Virginia Beach, also a winner tonight. Congratulations to you. If you see something with the word Marco's on this letter or WTKR, don't throw it away, because you'd be throwing away some good food. Excellent food, if you ask me, because Marco's is dynamite, fantastic. Oh, and number 3, Joyce. Now, Joyce, if I say this last name, tell me if I said it right. Joyce Street from Belhaven, North Carolina. Now, I had to look this one up, all right? We've had some folks who've been outside of our immediate viewing area. But Joyce, I think you have probably the longest drive of anyone that we've had since May. And that's not a bad thing, because obviously you wouldn't have put your name in the list if you weren't actively interested in winning some pizza. But maybe you have like family here. Maybe you have family in Chesapeake or Norfolk. But anyway, Belhaven, North Carolina. You all know where that is? I had to look it up. It's in Beaufort County, North Carolina. It's like an hour and 50 minutes. That's dedication. So Joyce, congratulations to you. You will have to either figure out a way to get here, but Lisa Henderson and Poquoson has a much easier drive. I congratulate Joyce. I want to congratulate Lisa. And I'm just telling you that these are the 6 locations you can redeem it. Not everybody has the convenience of having a Marco's that's participating in our backyard. But again, 3 in Virginia Beach with the 757 phone numbers, Chesapeake, 2 and 1 in Norfolk on Hampton Boulevard. Back to the pizza winners in no particular order. We got Michelle, I think, but I didn't see an E on the last name there, or E on the end of the first name. Michelle Dixon, Newport News, has won a free Marco's pizza. Peter Buck from Virginia Beach, you are also a winner. Congratulations to you. We'll keep on going. I got Shanita Howard from Norfolk, a big winner tonight for a large pizza, 1 topping from our friends at Marco's. And Stephen Williams for Chesapeake is our number 8 winner tonight. We're going to get to the grand prize winner of the week here in mere moments, but let's finish out the top 10 single pies that we're giving out, and you'll be getting this in the mail in a few short days. Number 9 is Todd Palm in Virginia Beach. And we have a winner from Hampton tonight. Yvonne Batchelor in Hampton has won a free Marco's pizza. So congratulations to all of you. Very excited that you win. And when you win, it's nice. Maybe you can share it. If you've never had Marco's before, it's a chance and opportunity to try something new in the new year. Isn't that cool? Now all we're missing, I think, is maybe some confetti. All right, the big winner this week for the free Marco's pizza for a year is going to go to somebody in Chesapeake. It's Elizabeth. Yay, Elizabeth. Lynn has just won free Marco's pizza for a year. Elizabeth, if you're watching, or someone you know is watching that knows you, hopefully they will notify you. Word of mouth travels fast, but pizza from Marco's also disappears fast because it's so good. I got to tell you what, this pizza for a year will have your name, Elizabeth, in the upper left-hand corner, the date it's received, and you'll be able to use that in January, and then you'll be able to use it for 12 individual months down the road. It'll take you through the end of 2026. One topping will be on these large pizzas, but you don't have to pay for it because you just won, my friend, a big pizza for a year certificate to Elizabeth Lynn of Chesapeake. Congratulations to you, and congratulations to our 10 winners: Corinthia, Helen, Joyce, Lisa, Michelle, Peter, Shanita, Stephen, Todd, and Yvonne. Very happy to have all of you, and I think there might be some big celebrations. Who knows? A couple of beautiful days coming, Kim noted, but we've also usually get a lot of congratulations from those watching. So Kim, glad to have you here. She was saying hello to everybody, so anyone who's watching now, very thankful. But Kim is also the first to leave a guess to the trivia question. So let me get back to that. She's guessing A, which season is your shadow the longest? And Kim is exactly right. It is winter because, again, the sun is, the earth is tilted away from the sun at that time. So your shadow is, in fact, stretched or elongated in the winter season. And the opposite would be true in summer because it's at its highest point. So your shadow isn't as long in summer. All right, so we've covered that. I'm just curious to know who's watching, who's interacting during the live segment here at 8:05. Now, here we're going to still get to Joshua's question. I haven't forgotten you, Joshua Armstrong, so hang in there. We need cold air to get snow on the 16th. Would you agree? Is that a fair assumption? We need some cold air on the 16th of January, and of course that is next Friday. That's a week from tomorrow. But to get that, there would have to be some good signs that some of that's coming. I just don't see it. If I were to go back to the 16th of December, that might be a telltale. Let me see how far back I can go here. Let me see if I can put this on the screen. This is the 8th of December. Get me to the 16th of December, because then if it's a 30-day time release, there's the 50. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot of cold air here, my friend. I do see the fact that there's some warm air over here, but as warm air rises, cold air sinks. This is roughly an analysis on the 15th of December, about a month before the time that you're asking about. And really where this is going to move is here. It's going to probably move into parts of Maine, possibly into New York City. I just don't see it getting as far south as Hampton Roads. Sorry, but I don't. And somebody might say, otherwise, maybe you get a flurry. But I think the worst of winter is going to be over by the time we get to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The displacement, when you have these sudden stratospheric warming events, that usually will reverse the winds. It'll push the cold air down. But we haven't even shown you today's map. Let me show you what yesterday looked like. It will look really like on the other side of the North Pole there, but it's certainly going to be cold as it streams in this direction. That's from yesterday. That's the 7th, right? We got the 7th on the screen, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that and come back to the 8th because today is January 8th, Elvis's birthday. We can circle that. And this also, if we zoom in a little bit tighter, would suggest that this cold air is going to go in like this, right? We're going to push this cold air, even though it shows warm air rises, cold air sinks. I think, Hampton Roads is down here, North Carolina's down here. I think we're going to miss out on the real cold air 30 days from today. 30 days from today would be February 8th, right? Because January 8th is today, February 8th. We're now in the heart of February, which is a short month, but I don't see a whole lot of cold air, relatively speaking. I'm not going to say that we couldn't get some snow. We can, but I just don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I think the worst of winter is behind us. And some evidence to suggest that is looking at the upper air pattern. We got near record heat coming in on Saturday for many communities. Then this cold air comes back down, back to reality, comes Sunday into Monday, because Sunday the temperatures are dropping. Then we go into a moderation a bit, and then some cold air. But you notice it's not purple here. It's not even dark blue. That's up here. That's way up here. So you got to way off the edge of the map. That's what I think the pattern will be. Yes, it'll drop our temperatures, but it's very important to remember, just because you have cold air doesn't mean it's snowing. Remember, cold air is typically dry. But you need a collision, you need a marriage between cold air and moisture to get a good snowstorm like you got on February 19th, 2025. Because I showed up 2 days after that storm and I saw the mounds of snow in the parking lots all across town. So many of you remember the big storm from February 19th. That's a collision, a marriage, a pairing of moisture, kind of like two kids on the swing set, right? You got cold air, but sometimes it's not in phase with the moisture. And I just don't see that being that big of a deal. Let me open up my map again, because that is the cold air that's coming. That's about the 15th. We'll still have some cold days, But like I said, when you talk about the worst of winter, I do think we'll have moved on, certainly by the 19th, which is Dr. King Day. Now, as far as the rest of Saturday, the 17th looks like this, and some cold air makes it to Minneapolis and Chicago, but we're still on the warmer side of that spectrum there on the 18th of January. And you were asking about the 16th. Now, if you follow the spokes, where's the really cold air in purple going? It seems like it's going on the other side of Greenland. And we may see some cold air, but January 18th is on your screen. I just don't see much in the way of snow. If you got some flurries in some areas in the mid-Atlantic, so be it. But we've already had an inch of snow officially in Norfolk back on the Veterans Day, the 11th of November, and of course the 8th of December. December was a cold month. I'd like to show this and point this out to you. If you're remembering, we are now about 4.6 degrees below normal for the month of December in Norfolk. And there were a lot more blue squares than there were red, because we had, 3 weeks, 21 days below normal, 9 days above normal, and 1 day on the 2nd, which was precisely normal itself. But if you look at where we stand now, we're 50-50. We're above normal for 4 days, below normal for 4 days, so it's almost a split or a draw. But we're going to get more warmth, so I do think this is going to be a red square, it'll be a red square, and so on. Then we'll get back to maybe a little bit normal. I just don't see this month nearly as cold as December. So I've said that, been on record for saying that. I'll continue to monitor that. And look at today. We hit double nickels today. 55, high temperature. You look at the temperature forecast at 8 o'clock tonight. We're in the 40s. Tomorrow morning, not much change. But as you move to, say, midday tomorrow, Albemarle is more suggesting here of 70. I think we'll outperform some of these numbers, and some of us will stay in the 50s for the Eastern Shore. But look at it. This is now showing 71. Can I get a 72? Oh yeah, there's 72. So like I said, this was data was not showing this at 3 o'clock this afternoon. We get a new run, the 18Z run. It's suggesting, okay, well maybe it is warmer. So I think there's going to be a lot of surprise factors for the next 2 days. So wherever weather guidance is, it's gonna exceed. It's gonna exceed. And this was now showing it's going to exceed 70 tomorrow. But it would be within 2 degrees of the record high of 74. Don't think we're going to get that, but it'll be interesting to see how close we can. And if we look at 7 o'clock Friday night, we're back in the 60s. By the way, have multiple sources for information. The News 3 First Warning Weather app is a fantastic free tool to have live radar and get the updates and the alerts from the National Weather Service in real time. NOAA Weather Radio is great to have as well, battery operated, so that if your phone loses charge, if a cell phone tower is compromised because of a tornado about 50 miles away, and you lose notifications, well, then you have the NOAA Weather Radio as a backup. So having multiple sources, always a smart move. Now, do we have any delays? My goodness, we've got a couple. Denver, wonder if that's weather related, that's a half hour, and Chicago is 45 minutes behind schedule with average airport delays. Clearly we've got this storm system that we're talking about, and I can see, as you probably can too, that there's some severe weather in orange. Let me zoom in. It looks like we'll go to New Mexico first. Maybe they got thunder snow. They've got snow around, where is it? Los Lunas, Southern Valley. They got a severe thunderstorm warning. Santa Fe till 6:45 local time, and snow on its heels. Look at that on the west side of I-40. Now we zoom back out. You can see the snow that's beginning to form in Iowa with the rain. What a mess, right? I wouldn't want to be driving in that maybe, because that might be a little more challenging for drivers near Omaha, Des Moines, Waterloo, and La Crosse up here in, say, Wisconsin. And Chicago also dealing with more rain here. We got another severe thunderstorm in parts of Illinois that would include McLean and Woodford County until 7:45, say, Central Time. Now, another example for my friend Joshua Armstrong, who I've not forgotten, by the way. I'm going to take you through. I didn't want to focus so much on the timestamp with each frame, but if you just look at this as one block of time between now and the 18th, you can see that that's a 10-day period, right? Here's Hampton Roads, here's Virginia Beach. Tell me when you think we're going to get snow in the next 10 days. I think you're going to be hard-pressed to find it. So I'm going to animate this. Let's go through some rain. Not yet. I see snow in Canada up toward Quebec, and maybe some in Kansas. All right, keep it moving. Oh, stop it there. Most of the rain, snow now is up in Maine, maybe. A little bit of New York City, perhaps, passing by upstate New York, and some of the Great Lakes. It's not a lot to see there. Okay, moving a little further. Okay. Oh, it looks like some snow in West Virginia and Pennsylvania. Yeah, but it doesn't look like it's going to make it to Virginia Beach. Looks like it may make it to northern New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, maybe Philly. Philly could have some. Lexington, Kentucky could get some snow out of that bad boy. But look what happens. It turns to rain and moves away, and there's not much left there. See what I'm saying? That takes you through the 18th. So I don't want to set up any expectations that are unreasonable. It's like I don't want to write a check I can't cash. I don't see snow on the 16th. Did I explain that? Hopefully I did. Anyway, we're still moving. It's now 8:14. Temperature right now, 47 in Hampton, 41 in Chesapeake, 46 in Virginia Beach. We got temperature about 42 in Franklin, 49 for current temperatures in Nags Head and Manio, and 46 in Kiptopeke. Great to see everybody here. I'm glad to see Joshua, Kim, and Tony. And also Kim also mentioning that she got the trivia question right. Glad to have her here. By the way, is the warmth anywhere near here? Oh yes, it is near and far, as Grover from Sesame Street would say. But look at this. Look, I mean, come on. Look at this. Very, very warm, even at this hour. And this is all going to be working its way over here. So if you want to cut and paste, you could do that. Charlotte's at 60. Nashville's at 66, and I would imagine Knoxville at 56 might be one of the cooler numbers in the state of Tennessee right now. It is really cold in Rapid City, South Dakota. They're at 31. Denver's at 30, while it's about the same temperature in Vegas right now, where Elvis might be, and 51 in Roanoke. Look at that. 51. They're matching Roanoke and Las Vegas. You don't normally think of having the same temperature, but that's the case here at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Now, bigger picture, I'll take you through the cold air across Canada. It will try and ooze back down by the 11th and 12th, but once we get past Sunday and Monday, it might moderate a little bit before we get another surge of cold air by the 15th and 16th. And then again, dry air, cold air is dry. It's not inherently moist and doesn't necessarily equate to a snow event. Temperature outlook through the 18th shows above normal temperatures in California, near normal for the Ohio Valley, slightly above normal for Hampton Roads. And then as we look at the 8 to 14 forecast outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, it shows that surge of cold air that's trying to dip back down. We could include Maine in there, but that would take you through the 22nd. Doesn't mean it'll stay that cold, but much like the tide at the beach, it will in fact ebb and flow. By the way, tomorrow in Onancock, the Eastern Shore, forecast 58, 59 for Saxis and Bloxham, mid-50s for Chincoteague, and 59 for Cape Charles. Exmoor, 57 for you. Upper 60s more common for Kill Devil Hills and Duck at 66. Manio, Wanchese, Roanoke Island, 67, Nags Head, 67 tomorrow, and upper 60s more common for Hatteras, Ocracoke, about 66 for Rodanthe. Now, the Storm Prediction Center is getting more active simply because of the fact that we have this storm system in the Midwest tonight, which means if you see what colors, dark green is isolated, yellow would be scattered, and that means we will have short-lived storms, maybe not widespread, but clearly Little Rock, Memphis, until 7 o'clock Eastern tomorrow morning, fair game, West Tennessee and northern sections of Mississippi and Arkansas, fair game for some isolated storms. Isolated. Champaign-Urbana, Illinois, up toward parts of Indiana could have some isolated storms, and that extends all the way down into parts of Louisiana. While nothing's going to happen here in terms of severe weather, but it gets more aggressive. Some of the storms become more vigorous in yellow tomorrow. This is a severe threat from Friday. From the Storm Prediction Center includes New Orleans, Alexandria, and much of Mississippi and parts of Alabama. Nashville is included in level 1, which is isolated. Huntsville, Atlanta, and areas around Memphis could also expect some isolated severe storms where 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and large hail, about the size of an inch. George Washington quarter. That's how large the hail could occur in those areas. And you can see it does get a little bit closer to Richmond on Saturday. So again, we talked about the heavier rain in parts of the Commonwealth, but you might find Panama City, Destin, New Orleans, Montgomery, Atlanta also under level 1 for Saturday. This includes Charlotte, Raleigh, Roanoke, and areas probably just to the south of our friends in Richmond. So really a couple of counties over to the west where severe weather may occur. So we'll keep a watchful eye on that for sure. But tonight is concerned, look, temperatures are going to change probably a little bit into the low 40s and settle there. Clouds will be in and out through 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. You can see we're playing cat and mouse with some rain. It would appear on the eastern shore by about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Hence, I left a 20% chance of rain because it drops down into Williamsburg by 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So this is where most of the rain is going to be. It'll settle in here through the midnight hour. Let me show you this. This is 8 o'clock. That's 10 o'clock. Is it raining where you are yet? How about Virginia Beach? Yeah, it looks like it's raining at midnight on Saturday morning and also in Norfolk. But this is where it gets interesting. Scattered showers at 3 a.m. and by 6 or 7, this could be the most aggressive the rain will be, at least in the heart of Norfolk and Virginia Beach. Right in here, watch what happens at 7. It lifts, and by 11 o'clock, it's not here anymore. Where did it go? It went up toward Delaware, went up to New Jersey, went up to the peninsulas, Middlesex County, north of Williamsburg primarily, and very little rain in here. So once we get past the morning hours on Saturday, this is a south wind, and that's going to push us up into the lower 70s. So you can see some of the clouds are beginning to break in here. So I think with just enough transfer of the momentum from the atmosphere, you're going to see winds gusting. They'll be picking up. Bertie County looks like the clouds break entirely by 2. And by this point, a south wind at 15, gusting to maybe 30, you're going to see those temperatures spike. And the expectation will be, wow, hey, we broke a record. Did you call for that? Man, I've been calling for that for several days now. And then by 4 o'clock, it's raining in Exmoor, Williamsburg, as also Matthews. And then we go into 11 o'clock Saturday, more rain across Exmoor, and so it goes. So the rain that returns this weekend will be a function of this warm front, and eventually on Sunday morning, it's going to be the function of the cold front as it sweeps in like a broom. By the way, it's 8:21. I want to wrap up for you as we head into the evening. 40 for a low tonight in the peninsulas. On average, 41 for North Carolina, 42 Southside, about 37 for Wakefield, Conway, 39 Ahoskie, 42 for Elizabeth City, and 42 for Cape Charles. I've got a 42-degree low tonight for Norfolk and Moyock, 47 Corolla and Nags Head, but 39 for Matthews and 40 for Gatesville. Tomorrow afternoon, big spread. I mean, we'll be lucky to hit 60, if not the 59 mark for the peninsulas, but 71 North Carolina, 70 Southside. You can see there's a big difference between 59 here and 73 in Edenton and Windsor. I mean, like I said, huge difference, right? If you're near the coastline, you're going to be a little bit cooler. But Double Nichols for Chincoteague, that's where we were today, was 55. But I think Gloucester and Williamsburg, good chance of getting in the mid-60s on your Friday for tomorrow. As far as about 70 for Cortland, 72 for Gatesville, about 71 for Moyock, 70 for Chesapeake. Here's your first warning, WTKR News 3 7-day forecast. Obviously, it's a forecast that's in flux. It's constantly moving like the ocean, like the tide at the beach. 60 and falling on Sunday afternoon, 46 Monday, and lots of sunshine and free vitamin D. But we start at 31 degrees. The mornings that start next week will be chilly, right? And maybe it's going to be a shock to the system because we got spoiled these last couple of days. Maybe not everybody's spoiled, but some of us might be. But then we're going to be back, I think, on Thursday. Thursday, of course, is the 15th. Could there be some flurries in here, Joshua? Yes, there could be in some parts of the viewing area, but I just don't see much of it right now. I mean, there could be a little bit like a melting snowflake at 35 degrees in the morning, but we'll keep an eye on that. And if I have to update it, I will. By the way, it's almost like a planetarium. Our theme with the happy shots tonight might have some filters. I'm not gonna make an excuse for it, but I will say thank you for these great pictures from Nags Head. This is from William. Love it. It's like pick a falling star and put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. I think that was Perry Como. Definitely not Elvis Presley. But Nags Head, Russell, also showing the stars come alive. Love it. To the sound of music. Maybe I'm off to the wrong song. And this one I love especially because it reminds me of our company's logo, which is a lighthouse with scripts. The light there from Jesse Bass's picture in Nags Head. Thank you for sharing that picture with us, Jesse. Hope you have a great weekend. Again, we're looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies overnight tonight, but fear not, we will be warming up tomorrow afternoon to 70 and 72 plus potentially on Saturday. So So that's it in a nutshell. Don't forget, if you are hungry for a Mike's Hot Honey Magnifico, that's the pepperoni pizza, you could get it for $10.99. If you use the promo code at marcos.com, it's WTKR Sunny. The first four letters basically are our call letters of our TV station. It will save you about $6.50 to $7 plus tax. So enjoy that if you want to enjoy or try it. And for those of you that did win the pizza, please note one of these 6 locations would be important to make note of so that you could win and actually redeem the pizza, because we had 10 winners tonight, from Corinthia down to Yvonne, and of course the big winner tonight was Elizabeth Lynn from Chesapeake. She's won free pizza for a year. Congratulations to all of you, and I'm very excited that you all have been watching thus far. It is now 8:24. Just remember, it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny or serious, whether we get a little bit of rain on the weekend, or if we get a record high or we don't, because every neighborhood is different. Just remember, every day is a gift. Make the most of it, and just make sure you know where that umbrella is in case you need it. We'll see you here next week. Take care.